Sit with me here at Granny Marble's kitchen table where we used to have those big old family reunions because after all, we're all one big ag family. Neighbor, let's take a look at ag weather for the smack dab middle of down on the farm country. Looks like today, a few scattered clouds, 82 and 62. A few more clouds on Saturday the 21st, a 40% chance of rain, 82 and 64, 2 or 3 tenths. About the same, more clouds though on Sunday the 22nd, 40% chance of moisture, 80 and 53, 2 or 3 more tenths. And I think we'll call Monday the 23rd a little bit more sun, but another 40% chance of moisture, 2 or 3 points. Tuesday the 21st, 81 and 61. Wednesday the 25th, 76 and 52. Thursday the 26th, 78 and 63. A 40% chance of a thunderstorm on Friday the 27th. 78 and 55. Saturday the 28th, cooler, 69 and 46. Sunday the 29th, mostly sunny, 66 and 46. Neighbor, there is your ag weather pretty much through the end of the month. Neighbor, let's take a look at our commodities of ag interest right quick. We'll utilize barchart.com. They seem to be the fastest and the most prompt, Johnny on the spot kind of website to find our commodity futures. March corn, 429 and a quarter up 2. January beans, 1179 and a half up 2. Jan bean meal, 391.50 by the ton, down 80 cents by the ton. March Kansas City hard red winter wheat up 420 at 561 and a quarter. March number 2 cotton up 34, 1701. February live cattle down 127, 109.25. January feeder cattle down 192, 133.62. February lean hogs up 215 at 65.20. Your December U.S. dollar index up 61 points at 92.34. December gold up 11.10 at $1,872.70 by the ounce. And January West Texas Intermediate crude up 8 at 41.98. Neighbor, there's your commodities of ag interest. Neighbor, let's begin today's Down on the Farm with a little program from Texas Farm Bureau. They call it Texas News and Views. Let's see who's at the mic and what their topic is.
Coronavirus and the holidays. I'm Tom Nicoletti with Texas News and Views on the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network. More after these messages.
There's no typical growing season. Each one brings different challenges. So what if this year we do something different? Like stepping up to Altura, a powerful at-planting technology from Nutrient Ag Solutions. Step up to extended nutrient efficiency and plant performance. Step up to better productivity and profitability in your fields. Take your fertility program to the next level with Altura, powered by C2 technology. Talk to your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant or visit lpi.ag/stepup to learn more.
Conventional wisdom says that you get what you pay for, and conventional wisdom is right. You won't find Crystalix in the bargain aisle, but it will always get optimal performance out of your cattle. Whether you feed it in a steel or plastic barrel or our sustainable single-trip bio barrel, Crystalix is more than just a supplement. It's an investment. With Crystalix, performance is served. Visit Crystalix.com to find a dealer near you.
As the flurry of holidays approaches, what should and what will people do when it comes to family and friends gatherings and traveling during the coronavirus pandemic? For some direction on what people should do, we have Waco physician Dr. James Sharp on the program today. And Dr. Sharp, let's focus first on Thanksgiving, which is coming up in a week. And of course, anything we say about Thanksgiving can also apply to the other holidays. What about the exposure risk when it comes to travel, vehicle versus air travel?
The impact of traveling creates a lot of variables on our risks. The number of times you have to stop on a trip, to go into a gas station, a restroom, restaurant, all those are going to be new contacts with other people, varying degrees. So each one's going to introduce a little bit more risk. If you stay overnight in a hotel, same thing. If you're flying, there seems to be some evidence that flying is relatively safe, but you still have transportation to and from the airport. The number of airports you have to stop at on that flight is going to impact, again, the number of people you're being exposed to. I think probably the safest trip, you can drive, let's say a 90-minute trip or so. You're not meeting people on the trip itself, so you'd be taking just yourself in the car to that holiday event and really minimizing the risk of exposure along the way.
Before we go any further, let's talk about what everybody has been doing and what the talk has been over these last several months, and that's social distancing and the other factors tied to that. Talk about the importance there that should still be adhered to.
The most proactive thing a person can do in any given setting is going to be the face mask, and the better quality, the better, but any face mask is better than nothing. Frequent hand washings, not just after you shake somebody's hand, but when you touch a doorknob. I mean, I hate to be anxious about it, but if I walk into a room and I've touched something, before I touch people, I try to put some hand sanitizer on my hands. Social distancing, and now that's a little tricky because when you're with family, you want to embrace them, and I rather think that one big hug negates whether you're standing for the rest of the time standing 6 feet away from them and only spending 15 minutes around them. That 15 minutes has become a bit of an issue, too, because it's 15 cumulative minutes. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes later, 5 minutes later. You know, it all adds up in that time period. But anyway, social distancing is a great help. I mean, intuitively, you can imagine that if you're talking to somebody from 25 feet away, and it's got to be safer than when you're standing right next to them whispering in their ear.
That is Waco physician Dr. James Sharp. For more information on the safest way to celebrate Thanksgiving this year is to celebrate it with people in your household, go to the Centers for Disease Control website at www.cdc.gov.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Visit Texas Farm Bureau Insurance today at tfbinsurance.com to find an insurance agent who's a true neighbor. Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
You are listening to Texas News and Views. I'm Tom Nicoletti with the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
Neighbor, it's about time for Hop Sing to feed us lunch. Chicken fried steak, jalapeno gravy, plenty of Nanny's yeast rolls, and a cold cucumber salad. I'm pouring the iced tea because that's the hardest job, and Hop Sing's hands are pretty full. So, while I pour the iced tea, let's talk to Madison Bexley, Lockhart Livestock. Maddie, good morning to you.
Morning, Larry.
How was the sale?
We had a good day. We had 1905 with 215 cows and 25 bulls, 231 sellers, and 80 buyers.
Let's walk the pens.
On the sucker cows, we got along pretty good this week. The good pairs brought from $10.50 to $13.75. The mediocre and middle aged from $6 to $9.75. The good bred cows from $800 to $11.25. The mediocre and middle aged from $4.50 to $7.75. The longhorns and the plain lightweights from $2.25 to $400. The packer cows and bulls would have been about steady with a week ago. The good high yielding cows from 48 to 57, the medium yielding from 38 to 47, the low yielding from 18 to 37, the good high yielding packer bulls from 78 to 84.5, the low and medium yielding from 62 to 77, the lightweight and the thin bulls from 45 to 61. The calves and yearlings, they would have sold pretty much steady on the good quality cattle weighing under 550. The bigger cattle would have been a few dollars lower this week. So all in all, it was a good day.
And no sales next week.
Nope, we will see y'all back on the 3rd.
Well, tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, Larry, you can always check us out on Facebook, or you can call the barn at 512-398-3476. My cell phone at 979-540-9793. Or you can ring Bubba at 512-461-6091.
Neighbor, I want to remind you about my friends Stephen and Terry Lehman at Lehman Pipe and Cattle. They've got used sucker rod in 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, and 1 inch, and they've got used oil fill pipe, the #1 structural, straight, no holes, splits, or heavy scale, 2 3/8, 2 7/8, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6 5/8, 7 5/8, 10 3/4, and 16 24-inch diameters. Also, from time to time, they see some #2 pipe available at a reduced price. Truckload discounts and delivery also available. They also have cattle guards. They make them from 10-foot wide to 30-foot wide, depending on the customer's needs and wants, with or without wings or cross gates. Also, the heavy-duty concrete beams to set them on. Stephen and Terry Lehman, Lehman Pipe and Cattle. Email them at lehmanpipe @gmail.com or call Stephen at 979-966-3447 or Terry at 979-820-8155. That's Stephen and Terry Lehman, Lehman Pipe and Cattle. We are on the line with Russell Heller from Lexington Livestock Commission Company. It's about 8 a.m. on Friday morning, and we're looking toward a successful sale on Saturday, the last one before the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Russell, what's it looking like?
Yes, sir. I know 3 sets of calves, 20 to 25 head apiece. It'll be good quality.
Good. How are they bred?
One set's black and one set's Charolais, and the other set's Charolais.
I guess it's as dry there as it is anywhere.
Yes, it is. Everybody's waiting on a rain right now.
Right. I think we're probably going to be waiting a while because I don't see much more than 3 or 4 points in our future over the next probably week or 10 days. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you for this sale or the next sale after the Thanksgiving Day holiday.
Yes, sir. You can get me on my cell, and that number is 979-820-7002.
And I guess that sale will be the 4th of December. And then you'll have 3 during December?
Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure there's 3.
Okay. Russell, thank you a bunch.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Larry.
I'm on the line with Stephen. He's in the outside sales department at D&D. Stephen, when I look out there, I see lots of deer blinds and feeders. Talk to us about them.
Larry, now is the time to get a blind or a feeder from us here. We carry All Seasons, Lamco, The Judge. We also carry Atascosa and T-Box deer blinds.
Tell everybody how to contact you at D&D.
You can reach us here at 830-379-7340, extension 260.
Neighbor, I spoke to Kenny Mingus from Milam County Livestock Auction Cameron last night about 8 p.m., and he told me it might be a record day selling there at Milam County Livestock Auction today, Friday. Kenny?
They're lined up out the gate and around the corner right now, and we're tagging on about, I guess, 2,400, something like that. I imagine we'll tag up to 25 tonight, maybe a little more. So we're saying somewhere around 3,000, 3,200 with probably 400, 500 cows.
Good. What does the mix of everything look like?
It looks good. They're coming with these strings of cattle, like we talked about last week.
Right.
The cattle probably are a little lighter than they were last week. Probably got a pinch more condition than they had.
Okay.
But the quality's pretty good all the way through it. We look for a pretty good day, and we'll be here up until the night. So we're thankful for everything we got, and we're going to do the best we can for everyone, and want to hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll miss next Friday, and then we'll be right back here after that for 3 more sales.
All right. We'll touch base with you next week just to see kind of what things are going on, and if we miss you, we'll catch you the next week. In the meantime, tell everybody how to contact you.
You bet. Catch us at the office Monday through Wednesday. We'll probably be in and out this week due to the holidays at 254-697-6697. You can follow us on our webpage at milamcountylivestockauction.com or catch us on Facebook.
Neighbor, did you know that many animals can have the same kinds of diseases as people do? Even if it's not provided or caused by the same thing, it mimics the symptoms we have. Take asthma. Cats can have asthma, and that's what Dr. Bob Judd is talking about on today's Texas Vet Report. Dr. Bob?
Feline asthma affects 1 to 5% of all cats, so it is not uncommon. Most cats develop symptoms early in life and is classified as allergic disease, and the cat's immune system response can lead to permanent lung changes. Symptoms of asthma are usually coughing, rapid breathing, and difficult expiration rather than inspiration. Many of these cats are so severely affected that they have to breathe with their mouth open to inhale enough oxygen. Symptoms can be mild cough, or in severe cases, the disease can be life-threatening. And sometimes it may seem the cat has a hairball when the problem is actually asthma. Any cat that is coughing or having trouble breathing should be examined by your veterinarian and have x-rays of the chest. Although some cats with asthma will have normal chest x-rays, most will have findings typical of asthma, but these findings can also be associated with other diseases like heartworm disease in cats or chronic bronchitis. In some cases, placing a scope in the airways and sampling fluid may be required to make this diagnosis. Treatment of feline asthma is similar to treating human asthma, as a cure is unlikely, but the disease can be controlled. Keeping the cat inside in an area with decreased allergens is helpful, and oral treatment with corticosteroids like prednisolone is very effective. However, cats can only receive oral steroids for a short period, so other options must be considered. Inhaled treatment with a specialized cat mask is effective with a corticosteroid and this therapy has less side effects than long-term oral medication. So if your cat has trouble breathing or is coughing, check with your vet as asthma could be involved.
Where has the Pioneer Audio Tour taken me today? Well, this is the first time it's taken me outside the continental U.S. I'm at Pioneer's Trait Integration Facility in Puerto Rico. We're about a mile away from the coast and, I can smell the sea. I'm going inside one of the dozen or so greenhouses that make up the complex. A lot of trait integration happens here in Puerto Rico because the warm weather provides 4 growing cycles of corn per year, so new ideas can get to farmers quickly. It's a very important step in the pipeline. Once traits are incorporated into a new corn or soybean line, they can protect the plant and its yield potential against stressors like insects and herbicides. The Trait Integration Facility in Puerto Rico. Another place that makes Pioneer, Pioneer. You'll hear more from me later. For now, let your local Pioneer sales representative hear from you.
I hope you enjoyed today's Texas Vet News. I'm Dr. Bob Judd. This is the Texas Farm Bureau Radio Network.
We are on the line with Jody Fry from Producers in Cargyle, San Angelo. Jody, y'all had a humdinger?
Another big one, just like last week. The actual head count was within about 20 head of last week. 2,480 is what we counted today. Compared with last week's sale, we're calling these better quality calves and yearlings fully steady. Good demand on those, the better quality groups of calves. These lesser quality calves continue to sell under pressure, limited buying interest like it has been the better part of the fall on those lesser quality calves. Slaughter cows and bulls selling near steady with several of those thinner flesh cows. Those were actually being held over on feed until the holiday period. That helped the market just a touch, but selling about steady on our slaughter cows today. Limited number of replacement cows and cow-calf pairs sold slightly lower. Better quality steers, 400 to 600 pounds from 120 all the way up to a high of 180, mostly 125 to 145. 600 to 800 pound steers, 105 up to a high of 140. Mostly 110 to 125. Better quality heifers, 400 to 600 pounds from 105 to a high of 135, mostly 115 to 125. Slaughter cows, average to high yielding from 42 to 50. Did have some of the highest yielding slaughter cows, 52 to 54, and still several of those thinner or lower yielding cows anywhere from 30 to 40. Slaughter bulls, average to high yielding from 60 to 74. Several of the highest yielding slaughter bulls from 75 to a high of 83.
We won't have anything next week, will we?
No, that's right. There's actually will be someone here on the yards. If you get in a jam and need to drop off some sheep and goats or some cattle, they're welcome to stay. But no sales all next week. We'll be back the full week, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of stock on offer.
Tell everybody how to get a hold of you, Jody.
You bet. You can reach us over the holiday at 325-234-7895, or you can always call the office 325-653-3371.
I tell you what, neighbor, let's fire up our old John Deere tractor. Never does want to start, right? Oh, it's sounding like it's going to. There it goes. Let's ride on down to the mailbox and see if we can find the grain report. The mailman usually leaves it for us. Yes, he did. Milo through Corpus Christi in November. Dees plus 220, 1147. Progresso 1050. Yellow corn through Corpus in November. Dees plus 45, 467.5. We'll call Progresso 880. Hard red winter wheat through Corpus in November. Dees plus 75, 623 3/4. Houston Dees plus $1 bill, 648 3/4. And we'll call number one beans to Houston, November, December delivery, January plus 10, 1187.5. Placido, January less 60, 1117.5. Neighbor, 1 year ago today, Milo to the Port of Corpus was 50 over December, 750. Where was it today? 1147. Looks like China has purchased some more Milo, 117.9 million bushels, with about 99% of what they've purchased so far already shipped. Neighbor, that's it for the noon edition of my program. Of course, I call it Down on the Farm. They call me Larry Marble. I call you my neighbor. Neighbor, if I don't see you before Thanksgiving, have a